Welcome, dearest friends. Let us salute Paramatma, Parabrahma, Shruti Mata, all our Gurus, Ishtadevatas, etc. Congrats to you all for being so regular as we are almost coming to the conclusion of this study of this Upanishad marathon from more than last 470 days. It was a very good journey, I believe, if not the whole thing thoroughly understood, meditated, and realized the Brahman in our heart. But many good important things we have learned for our spiritual vision, spiritual travel journey, spiritual evolution. This becomes a good lesson for us to repeat the study of this text, or when we study other Upanishad, how more we have to apply ourselves with the basis of the effort of studying this Upanishad. Like in any scientific experiments or medical investigations, also based on the earlier discoveries, they make a strong base and then move ahead. So this gives a good opportunity to for us. Any further Upanishads when we study will be very deep in our study. We'll be repeating our study. We'll be doing required manana chintana for the clarity of picture, and then we can even take on the sadhana at least to feel the joy that we have done the sadhana. We tried for the sadhana. The result depends on our effort and where do we stand and His grace, so many factors. Definitely, result will come if we definitely go on doing sadhana. When and how we can't say, but definitely result will come for those who are holding on to the path incessantly, continuously. Good. Let it happen to us, and may the whole world around us also realize the need and importance of spirituality, which is always required. Not that it was required in Satya Yuga and not now in Kali. In fact, it is required in Kali more because of so much of non positivities that are springing up from the ignorance and ignorance led delusions. This is the day where the Adhyatmikata, Tattva Jnana, Shastra Jnana is more required for balancing between the outer materialistic progress and inner world personality, which is totally losing its level or hold. So let us pray for that to happen. The Lord can use us as His instrument in this work. But we continue negotiating, fighting with our own prarabdha and personality and our equipments. We continue negotiating with what's happening to us around what we are supposed to do. And we continue negotiating with our relentless, continuous study, effort little to understand, and try to do little of sadhana and abide in it. This spiritual journey is such one you can't assure that it is done हो चुका है. No. Anytime from the topmost, one can topple down. And sometimes journey appears to be very faster, smoother, and nearer. Another side, for months together, the mind even will not cooperate with all our innocence, simplicity, genuineness. Yet the upadhis don't cooperate. Like few of our group members who have left the class, only the reason is the mind could not cooperate. Not that they were ingenuine or insincere, but the upadhis, sometimes they are so virulent, along with prarabdha, they will be pushed into the world. Like for us, this time we are taking class, we attend. If I call you again, another class 11 to 12 or evening 4 to 5, your upadhis will not cooperate. They are happy, subha sun lo bas, ya sham ko. Like that, everybody will have those things. We have to negotiate. Even me, at this time I can talk. After 2 hours, again I'll have evening. But in between, all the time, karo bole to, right now, the upadhis are so not so paripakwa that all the 24 hours we are in the truth. Actually, which is an essential thing toward the final lap of the journey. Towards that only we are going. Entire time, all faculty personalities, all are engrossed only in spirituality. Therein, they are all purified, liquidated, transcended. We see that which is beyond. So let us continue today also our study, Taittiriya Parayanam, Taittiriya Adhyanam with Shankara Bhashyam, Mundaka Adhyanam with Shankara Bhashyam. Before that, our Yoga Darshanam with Vyasa Bhashyam. Then Gita going on, 11th chapter, beautiful. Evening Bhagavatam. We will see today all the Krishna Patnis, how they tell their marriage to Draupadi. Yesterday you saw those 2-3 shlokas said by Yudhishthira and others, how complete and profound they were in explaining to us the Karuna, the nature, the power of the God, and how we have to be humbly devoted and surrendered to Him for being blessed by Him, so that in our life there is no Ashivam, everything is Shivam only. Same way, though we have hurried, yet we could glance through, browse through the stuti done by Brahmadeva of Lord Rama, where he describes Rama to be the Param Brahma, to be Ishvara, to be the Avatara Purusha, all put together, worthy of worship, worthy of surrender, worthy of being blessed by him for our own emancipation. We also saw the most wanted thing yesterday in our Adhyatma Ramayanam, that is Sri Rama Sita Punaha Milanam. When the Agnideva brought her safely, handed over her to Rama Bhagavan. Today we'll be enjoying Indra Kruta Stuti. That's how our 6 Shastras and our Vedic chantings, evening chantings going on, along with some stotra teaching to the youth in the 11 o'clock class, 12 o'clock class. So to some discussions on the common sense along with Gita. So all put together, 8-9 classes going on. Good time is being spent in this. There is nothing greater than this. And all temptations of the mind to run and indulge in the world, it comes sporadically and it goes away. We need not succumb to it. On the other hand, our desire to intensify our study and understanding, our desire to be more deeper in our meditation, we have to enhance and increase and add to, and that should become practical, where we start doing 5 to 10 minutes of our dhyana abhyasa to begin with, and increase it to 20, 30, 40 minutes once a day, twice a day, thrice a day. This is how, keeping the small little way of goals, by achieving them we have to desire to go in the spiritual direction to reach the ultimate, not any desire other than this. May that happen in our personality, all of us. Let us become pure, immaculate in our heart, sincere, that we seek only the truth, reality, nothing of the untrue word anymore in attempts to pull us towards it. Some very powerful urges will be there, even they also, when we are starting to get the taste of our dhyanam, they also slowly chale jayenge. So विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्यदेहिनः रसवर्जम् रसोऽपि अस्य अपरं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. So having the clarity of these things, let us continue. We will be chanting today our yeah, how much we have done. Yeah, Annam Brahma Upasana, these 3 Anuvakas in the Bhrugu Valli are for our chanting today. Start. Om Annam Nanindyat Tadvratam Prano Va Annam Shariramannadam Prane Shariram Pratishtitam Sharire Prana Pratishtidaha तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या अन्नं न परिचक्षीत तद्व्रतम् आपो वा अन्नम् ज्योतिरन्नादम् अप्सु ज्योतिः प्रतिष्ठितं ज्योतिष्याप प्रतिष्ठिताः तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या अन्नं बहुकुर्वीत तद्व्रतं पृथिवी वा अन्नम् आकाशोन्नादः पृथिव्यामाकाश प्रतिष्ठितः आकाशे पृथिवी प्रतिष्ठिता तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या ओम शांति 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 ओम 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 सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ओम शांति 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 ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ओम सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थः ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलं स्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं भवता जनता सुहिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वरजीवविवेकविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्रीवेदव्यासवैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्याद्यशङ्कराचार्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोध सिद्ध्यर्थं पुराणेतिहासोक्त भगवद्भागवत दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां साधनानां योगानां गुरुशिष्यदेवता भक्तपरम्परायाः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगतिद्वारा विश्व शांति कल्याण एकता अभिवृद्धि सामरस्यता प्राप्त्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निष्ठित अस्माकं सहित समस्त भक्त साधक सेवक धर्म संस्थापकानां कंकणबद्धानां च सदा सर्वदा बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा समस्त शक्ति संपदा साधना सानुकूल्यतानां प्राप्ति द्वारा अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायण अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचिनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेत तद्वक्तारमावेत आभीन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली दशमोऽनुवाकः। Let us chant from the दैवी समाज्ञा। ॐ अथ दैवीः तृप्तिरिति वृष्टौ बलमिति विद्युति यत यश इति पशुषु ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरमृतमानन्द इत्युपस्थे सर्वमित्याकाशे तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासीत प्रतिष्ठावान् भवति तन्मह इत्युपासीत महान् भवति तन्मन इत्युपासीत मानवान् भवति तन्नमैत्युपासीत नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः तद्ब्रह्मेत्युपासीत ब्रह्मवान् भवते तद्ब्रह्मणः परिमर इत्युपासीत पर्येणं म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः पर्ये प्रिया भ्रातृव्याः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्निकामरोऽप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत् सामगायन्नास्ते हा भू हा वो अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदहग्गश्लोककृदहग्ग श्लोककृत् अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य न वायि यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम सुवर्णज्योतिः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Beautiful chantings. Only when we go on practicing that we master them, then only those words lingering in our mind when we study along with Bhashyam start revealing to us the perfect correct meaning. That is what is the most important practice. All spiritual seekers miss but must to do is the Nirantara Parayanam of our own Shastras. When that is done, when one becomes familiar with the words from within only, that mantra adhisthana devata or the rishi who is the mantra drashta or the gurus who are doing upadesha of that to us, they are there in our hearts to reveal those meanings to us. This is a experience you will definitely have when you respect revere these parayanams. Now coming to the subject matter, you just see कि the profoundness of, the depth of, the purity of, the clarity of our rishis of the past. They have recognized Brahma Tattva, they have recognized the need of the Brahma Tattva for the liberation, they have recognized all the sadhanas to reach that, and in that, the Antaranga sadhana, and then Antara sadhana, then Bahis sadhana, in which the individual, his personality layers, and the world outside, the duties that he has to do, the things which he has to avoid, and his intentions, his attitudes, so that outer behavior becomes only an asset for the inner journey through purification and giving us qualification and subtlety doesn't create such dents in the personality that we go away from the truth. So every of these intricate aspects which we are studying in the Upanishads from such a long time are conceived by our Rishi Parampara means how much sublime, deeper, matured they are in our use in their using the intellects and in their understanding of all these things. Are we compared to them? Where are we with all our technological development that we can't even make our mind single-minded? We can't even control one of our sense organ or faculty. We can't even understand and remember one sentence of one Upanishadic mantra. अब देखो हम क्लेम करते हैं वी आर ग्रेट इन व्हाट वे वी आर ग्रेट just because science technology grown just to give us more comforts only to make us slave to our own stula sharira that we have to claim we are great or they are great that they understood the consequences of these outer growths scientific technological which strengthen our upadhi tadatmya thus pull us to the level of slavery to the samsara therefore keeping that away reveling only in the truth keeping all the temptations away, possibilities away, and discovering the self. Are they great or we great? No, for we, the avivekis of today's world, sukhameva sarvam. And with that attitude, we are indulging in so many sukha bhoga, external, internal, that right now also, with little pleasures minimum, most of the burdens, and sufferings, and regrets and guilts we are going through, and sowing the seeds for the future samsara, future suffering also. That is aviveki, we are living life. But those who are vivekins. And what was the vivek of them? Dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. What we are studying in Yoga Darshanam. Parinama tapa samskara dukkaihi guna vritti avirodhacha dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. Therefore, other than pursuing the truth directly and entering into that bliss safely, they never took the risk of all this unnecessary nonsense, even though they were more capable than us because of their, what do you say, the antakarana niyantrana, which leads to every type of siddhis. The yoga siddhi, the other siddhi, for that, what antakarana ekagrata shuddhi required, they have achieved all that. But they never misused those powers to get lost in the worldliness. Now, how much of the maturity of the intellect, vicharana, and vairagya they must be having that they only pursued Paramatma. That's why 1, 2, 3 janam bas they used to get moksha. And हमारे हाल क्या है बताओ? With all our struggle of listening to Shastra so many years, did we get even little Vairakyam clearly, Vivekam clearly? Have we thought of the Viveka every day? It is to be done till the Vairagya happens and sustains throughout life. विवेक ही कभी नहीं करते क्लास में हमारे लिए हम बोलने वाले आचार्य करके छोड़ देते हैं और हम सुनकर उन्हीं को देकर वापस चले आते हैं कंटिन्यूस अविवेकी ओनली विदाउट दैट विवेक हाउ कैन वी हैव वैराग्य Please, Vairagya is not partial. 100% Vairagya towards everything. That's why what is Drushta, Anushravika, Vishya, Vitrushtasya Vashikara Sangna Vairagyam. And then Gunavaitrushtyam also. And here Tadvairagyam Jihasaya, Darshana, Shravana Adivihi, Deha Adi, Brahma Paryante, Anitye, Bhogavastuni. Among that, even one or two or few things also, we are not able to give up through that Vairagya, then where do we stand? So how much steps or struggles we have to go through to put one by one step and move ahead. So from those Rishi Munis, we have to get the inspiration, we have to pray to them every day and beg them, ask them to bless us, to give us the strengths which they have. They're all there even now. All the Rishi Tattva, Muni Tattva, they're all there. Any Rishi Muni totally merged in Paramatma, yet he leaves behind one thing for us to invoke his presence. That is called his name. As long as his name is uttered, that Rishi will be available. Only when the entire humanity forgets his name, then he merges in the Brahman. So therefore, you say Veda Vyasa, Namaha. So naam liya, so Vyasa is available. You know, Vaishampayana Namaha. Naam liya is available. Yajnavalkyaya Namaha. Naam liya is available. Adya Shankara Sadgurave Namaha. They will come. So through these type of variety of upasana namaskara, the great, grand, glorious rishis, when we invoke their grace, when it comes, then our sustained being regular in class, our sustained conscious listening, our continuous doing the homework at home, in spite of all urges, compulsions, duties, obligations, at least for some hours, at least an hour or so, then our beginning and continuing of truly sitting on the dhyana avastha and trying to work out the things. देखो क्लास में आना अलग जैसा है विथ द अंडरस्टैंडिंग, सो टू समझना अलग है practically doing the sadhana. Only when we start doing practically, we'll come to know at what level of total slavery to the antakarana, slavery to the dehadi upadhi, slavery to the vishaya vastus we have, we will come to know. सुनने को अच्छा लगता है क्योंकि वो कुछ करना तो है ही नहीं. मुझे भी बोलने को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ क्योंकि कुछ करना है नहीं से बोलना है. सुनना बोलना नेवर गिव्स मोक्ष. नायम आत्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यः. याद रखना भी कोई काम नहीं करता. न मेधया. बहुत सुन लिया न बहुना श्रुतेन. When we start doing, then we will know how much the जितना भी विवेक करके वैराग करते हुए विषयों को छोड़ो, इंद्रियों को कंट्रोल करो, देह के परे जाने का कोशिश करो, उतना उस तरफ से एनिमी, है ना, द शत्रु जिसको हमने पाला पोसा बड़ा किया, इट गोज ऑन अटैकिंग. Like Bhima and Jarasandha when they were fighting 27 days. आखिर में तो भीम तो हाथ छोड़ ही देता, कहते भगवान आई कैनॉट डिफीट दिस फेलो. That's how the non-positivities, oppositions to our spiritual evolution are pampered by us. Ultimately, Bhagavan has to empower Bhima with his own divine Shakti, then give him that advice of how to make him into two pieces and throw here and there. That Bhima could finish that Jarasandha. In the same way, in our life, it will be tiring, fatiguing, exhausting thing. Sometimes to give up this bath, let us go into the world, enjoy like others. ये सारे मन बोलता रहता है, मैंने बोला ना तुमको उधर कष्ट है, कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है, चल मेरे साथ घूमने थ्रू द इंद्रियास, मौजा करेंगे इन द वर्ल्ड. Again and again, my mind says, and you really feel like many people go on. You and I struggle not to go, continue our study, continue the effort to meditate, and always mind is watching like Pakistan terrorist, looking for an opportunity. The moment he gets the opportunity, it pours all its powers of logics, earlier experiences, sentiments, emotions, and finally it pulls us down into the worldliness, and then it feels fulfilled. हाँ, कर दिया मैंने इस साधक को सत्यानाश. This is how when we start doing, we'll come to know. But then one who is holding on to the Shastra, holding on to the Guru and Guru Kripa and Guru Parampara Kripa, and kept his own Ishtadeva, and all the time is in the Prarthana and Upasana to that, he will, though have to face inevitably all these toughnesses and struggles, yet he will slowly negotiate through them. Like Puja Gurudev beautifully explains how Gangaji flows from the Gomukha up to the Ganga Sagar. It's not that her travel is continuously smooth all the time. No, he beautifully 10 minutes he explains. Excellent. One of the aspects his explanation is that en route she will encounter some small pebbles. Then she will throw them to the shores. Little bigger stones come. She will push them here and there and moves. Little bigger stone comes, it will go up above that. A bigger boulder comes, it strides for long time and breaks through the center of it and flows. And if the stone is very stronger enough, she just negotiates to move from the side and corners of the stone, but never stops its journey till it reaches the Ganga Sagar, Sagar in the Ganga Sagar. Like that has to be the spiritual journey will be so that inspiration will come when he's holding on to the Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara, holding on to the Shastra, Nirantara Shravana and Manana, holding on to the Ishvara through Upasana and Prarthana. One day will reach. Everyone ऐसा ही करना पड़ेगा. जिन्होंने किया वो पहुंच गए. जो बीच में किसी कारण से मिस हो गए, लुढ़क गए, gone. And the only one thing which makes us miss the sadhana is we have left our guru, we have left our regular swadhyaya, we have left our shravanam. बस इतना कर दो, सत्संग छोड़ दो, गुरु को छोड़ दो, पूरा हो जाएगा सत्यानाश of the spiritual sadhana. You may succeed in the world, no doubt, with your skills, abilities, but far away from truth and reality. Again, पता कितने जन्मों के बाद फिर इस तरफ आएंगे. And those who know this thing, they knowing that their prarabdhas are stronger non-positively, knowing that the effect of the kala is so terrible, knowing that he is very weaker in all these abilities, faculties, yet one thing when he knows that the Bhagavan, Shastra and Guru are held, then slowly the strengths come from within, he'll be able to travel. And that person when he really holds on to these three, अब देखते देखते कालम तो रुकता नहीं टाइम, देखते देखते all the strengths he will get, confidences he will get, consistency he'll maintain, learning happening, practice started, and that practice in the beginning, though gave a lot of struggles, he finds his own technique and ways to continue the practice, and that starts giving little glimpses of the experience. The first experience is calmness of mind, relaxation. That there is nothing in the world to be achieved. Whatever has to be achieved is the self. Self is only to be achieved by just rediscovering it. It's already there. So the world is not so important or valuable. There's nothing to be gained in the world. Everything gained is temporary. It goes away. I have to give it up. Somebody else takes it away. I'm not qualified for owning it all the time. So nothing is real at all. Therefore, he is in the world doing services, not seeking anything. Therefore, relax like Hanuman. He is in the world, does lots of continuous service to Rama Bhaktas and Rama. But he is relaxed because he has nothing to gain from this world, nor has he anything to lose. तो कुछ पाना है कोने को ना कुछ है हमारा. Is it not? There's nothing mine to give it to, for so the world will take away from me. Nor I want anything, need anything from the world. So this will be our first achievement. And thereafter, then the thought starts for that self-realization like the great Mahatmas. In the beginning, वो भी embarrassing लगता है. मैं कहाँ का हूँ? How can I know the Lord? I'm the useless fellow and all. ऐसे लगता है शुरू में. But कुछ दिनों के बाद, कुछ सालों के बाद धीरे लगता है that a thought of shyness will turn into the thought of challenge, the thought of inspiration. Then such person fully well plans his whole life schedule and manages all personality layers, integrates them, using them as a ladder. Every day he tries to go beyond, see the beyond. As it continues for some lives, then that रोशनी दिखने लगती है. That's how the journey to all. And today we have given this much time only to adore, worship, respect, revere, extend gratitude. Our great Rishi Munis who have at that time were so subtle, so sublime, so deeper, so complete, so involved in studying the whole thing and reaching to the truth and teaching us how to reach to the truth, negotiating with everything. And that's what are all Upanishads teaching us. So behind these teachings of, let us say, Krishna Kanchana Vasado Pratyachakshida or Kshemaiti Vachi or Truptiriti Vrushtau, how much of their struggle, how much of their subtlety, how much of their achievements are there. Just to bring it to our notice and light, we just discussed all these things. So that let us not take them for granted, their teachings lighter, their guidance and love carelessly. No, let us care their care and love. Let us learn the wisdom given by them. Let us invoke their blessings and see to it that We are understanding Upanishadic mantras, we are digesting the meaning in that which is indicating sadhana or preparation or goal, and we abide in that on a daily basis to begin with. Thereafter, daily twice or thrice. Thereafter, slowly, that alone should be the only and main theme of our life's living. Nothing else is important. To such one, that's what called Yamai Vaisha Vrunute Tena Labhya. That is the characters of all the great bhaktas and rishis who sought the Lord at the cost and price of anything and everything else. They were given the truth. If Nachiketa had accepted any offering here by Yama, he would have got that, but not Brahma Vidya. He just threw away everything. So to Prahlada heard to his father's words, he would have made Prahlada king of one of the lokas, Hiranyakashipu. But he said nothing. Narayana is ultimate. In that way, that state when we reach to, then things start happening. Now, we have seen Dana Kanchana Vasatau, the importance of every of the sadhanas, but we have to do them practically. Please remember. So to the earlier ones, Annam Nanindya Tadvratam, Annam Navarijakshita Tadvratam, Annam Bhaukurvita Tadvratam, and all of that Pranava Annam Shariram Annadam, Akashe Sharire Prana Pratishtaha, Prane Sharira Pratishtitam. सो अपसु ज्योति प्रतिष्ठितम ज्योतिषाप प्रतिष्ठिता और आकाश है पृथ्वी प्रतिष्ठिता पृथ्व्याम आकाश प्रतिष्ठिता ये सारे हमको सिखाए गए वी हैव टू डू द प्रैक्टिस सो टू द न कंचन वसुधो प्रत्याचक्षिता वी शुड रिमेंबर इट बिकम अलर्ट कॉन्शियस एंड डू इट सो टू मुखतोन्नगम राद्धम द होल लाइफ हैज टू बी लिव्ड with duty orientation with the sadhana orientation and everything is mukhatah means Pratime Vayasi, Mukhya Vratya, then Puja Purassaram. Do you remember all the three words? In that way, we have to conduct all. These are all sequential. अन्नम ने निंद्यात करने से ही अन्नम न परिचक्षित होएगा देन ओनली अन्नम बहु कुर्वीता देन ओनली न कंचन वसदो प्रत्याचक्षिता देन ओनली मुखतोन्नगम राद्धम these are all conscious deliberate efforts and efforts leading evolutions in sadhana to him only when he has that way established in clearing all his outer obligation as per shastra then from inside the sadhanas are taught they are all called the manushi samagnaha daivi samagnaha. So the Manushi are 5, Devi are 6, Brahma Sambandhi are 6. Let us say, or Devi only are 12. So that all are consciously be done. Kshema iti Vachi. And when it is said Vachi, the Vaikari Vani, the Mana, the Madhyama Vani also. That we have to think for the Kshema. But you know that my partner has cheated me, or my samdhi has troubled me, or my son-in-law has troubled me, or somebody, whatever they do, that is their nature and your prarabdha. In your mind, you have to think for their kshema. How much are bitter the enemy? We have to think for that kshema in the mind. That is the Madhyama Vani level of thinking about the kshema of everyone. Our life has to become the natural general wisher of the safety, security, progress, prosperity, evolution of the entire cosmos. The entire cosmos. Don't limit that only Indians and we have to grow. Kshema, nothing should be akshema in this world. Let the ant get its food. Let any of the lion, tiger get its prey. Let every plant in the world get its water sufficient. Let every bird have its safety. Let every animal, let every human being, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, gender, nationality, kshema. That way, each of these sadhanas have to be universalized. In that effort only, in that thinking only, we, an individual, so far having the mind entertained, used, intellect entertained, used only for the individual, which was a bondage. Now, while thinking for the universal, it merges in the universality. Without doing that, like yesterday in the evening class or in Gita class, we talked about exhaustively the Adhyatmic sadhanas are from the Vyashti to Samashti and from the Stula to Sukshma to Karana to Atita. So these all things, Kshema iti, Vachi, Yoga Kshema iti, Prana, Anayoho. Is it not? Sabka Yogakshema, not one or two, everyone. And some are very bad, very wretched. So in the mind, have the Kshema thought for them. At the action level, just wait for the opportunity to help them. Like in that BRICS meeting we saw yesterday, the special stress made on the entire South African countries. They are all downtrodden by themselves, not progressing. So they are given special importance. And all the Islamic countries also included in the BRICS so that let them also grow. Why our neighbor country not welcomed? They don't deserve right now. But we have the Kshema iti vachi, Yoga Kshema iti pranapanayo even for them. This side the China troubles us. So that troubling aspect of them should go away. But otherwise, every nation is including human beings only. Every human being is expression of the divine only. So how can we expect any one human being's loss or misery or dukkha if we are spiritual seekers? Therefore, the Kshema and Yoga Kshema should be there for everyone. That way, universally, we have to think about this. In that, human, plant, animal, everything is included, living and non living. The thought itself removes all the inner impurity of selfishness, and ego, because of which we are consciously, knowingly, deliberately, wantedly, were doing the akshema, doing the hani to everyone. See, that's very sensitive, sublime thought. If you remember in the Yoga Darshana, when we were started studying this 15th Sutra in the beginning, uh, Parinama Dukkha, how that fourth thing was explained. If you remember, what are the Parinama Dukkhas? One is it creates the Raga, second is it creates the Dvesha, third is it creates the Moha, and the fourth is what? What was the fourth thing said, Without doing the himsa and hananam to someone, we cannot have the Vishaya Bhoga. Therefore, the himsa is the fourth thing. Even if we don't want, it will happen in us when we are a Vishaya Bhogi. When you take the world as Bhogya Vastu and try to enjoy. The world is there for us to serve and to see the divine. A part of that world is to be consumed by us as His prasada for our own sustenance. That's all. See the sensitivity level of the thought. Apply it here also. That unless we have that universal welfare thought, little bit somewhere some I and mine selfishness comes, we have already become the obstruction in the growth of the entire universe, evolution of the entire universe. This sensitivity is called maturity. And the reason for it was our little clap or, little this type of sound also has its effect on the sun, moon, and stars. All are closely knit, everyone. Therefore, a person who is expected to be a Adhyatmika Jnani, he can never think even little for his selfishness. He will ever think for the entire universe only. So, therefore, universalize all these Manushi Samagnaha. That's what we are evolving. What is evolution? Coming out of individual upadhi and individualized that cocooned suffering. देखो जब तक इंडिविजुअल रहते हैं इंडिविजुअल उपाधि से के रूप के कारण तब तक being these are perishable, being very limited, we will have the fear of the suffering of perishability and the suffering of the change and what do you say, the destruction. वो दुःख तो हमको छोड़ेगा ही नहीं जब तक हम व्यष्टि उपाधियों को पकड़ के रखते हैं. Like when I am body, I think I will definitely have the suffering of the old age, the suffering of the diseases, the suffering of the fear of the death, and I will die also. I'll experience the pangs of death also. Now, to avoid this, what I have to do? As we said, from the individual to the total, from the grosser to the subtler and the beyond, we have to travel. In that only, this Kshema iti vachi, Yoga Kshema iti, Prana Panayoho, Karmeti Hastayoho. Karmeti Hasta is what? Our service is to the entire universe. You need not go everywhere in the universe to serve. Wherever you are, the service, whatever is given to us, that only we do. But in the mind, we keep the whole universe in the heart and say, with this, and the whole world we helped, improved. Hmm. It's a very sublime thoughts. They are all. You can see some of the scientists and all. They discover very small little looking thing only, but in their heart the thought is may it be useful for all. It may take time, but slowly this product of him, the small fellow scientist, it will be somewhere invited. Some in Pradarshana Shala it is kept. It is attracted by some investors, some businessmen, some producers, or somebody. Then they adopt it and slowly they include it in their own production and marketing. Slowly its utility grows so much that it becomes a very important consumable goods for the whole world. Why it happened? Because this fellow in the beginning thought that ये पूरे दुनिया का यूज में आ जाए, और उसका क्रेडिट पूरा इनको मिलता है. Is it not? How the cycles discovered, how the two-wheelers discovered, all that is one person's thought that this should be useful to all. He created not for himself. And whoever have created the things and kept it for selfishness, they were never used for the universal growth. Then those things have perished only, disappeared only from the universe. So therefore, Shema iti vachi, so important as sadhanas to be done, they have to be done at the idea of the universal level. Okay? So to the next level of the Daivi Samajnaha Upasanasa Brahman. The Brahman means universal only, no? Everything. Sarvam Brahma eva, Sarvam universe eva, universe Brahma eva. So the Truptiriti Vrushtao. Let there be timely rains in the entire universe. Balamiti Vidyati. Let there every natural and human made resources of strength, energy be there for the whole world. Yesterday's thought was that as we have the hydroelectricity and solar electricity and hydroelectricity, thermal, all the power should be there in the whole world. The power of the business. So let there be the Vidyut Bala or every Bala to the whole universe. Then Yeshaiti Vashishu, let everybody possess sufficient things so that they don't have the greed from others, they only have surplus to give to others. Jyotiridi Nakshatresho, let all have the light of knowledge, wisdom, like the stars light, which is two ways. One is continuous twinkling, second to some millions of kilometers, trillions light year kilometers of distance, it showers its presence and its grace. In the same way, our knowledge should help us ourselves, the people around, to the whole universe. Like that, let everybody be in the ज्ञानम. देखो सब में अज्ञान है, तो एक दूसरों को पशु राक्षस की तरह मार के खाएंगे. But everybody is ज्ञानी. Like imagine, like our prime minister has a jnana, every opposition member has also manu. Every neighboring country fellows have that wisdom of universal oneness and all. Where will be trouble or problem? पूरा दुनिया ही आगे बढ़ेगा. Together. That is how Jyotiriti Nakshatreshu. Then Prajatir means all those races, Jati, which are adding beauty to the world, let all of them have that Prajati being growing. And whichever are disturbing, troubling the whole, they definitely will get extinct. Either they are troubling or they are not required. The Sanatana Dharma never troubles anyone and it is eternally required, therefore it goes on happening. But many other cultures, etc., either they were not required or they were liability to the world. Like some products also. No more required. Therefore they get extinct. Where are the audio cassette tape recorders? Or the audio cassette? अब गए हो, उसकी अब जरूरत नहीं है. Some things were troubling, they get extinct. Some things are always required, they go on sustaining. I'm talking about Prajatir Amrutamanandam idupaste. Then Sarvamityakashe. In the Akasha, everything is Brahman. Akasha itself is Brahman. It is Chittakasha, it is Bhutakasha. This Upasana we have to do. For us at this level of Upanishadic Adhyanam, without any obligation or shyness, everything should be accepted as the expression of Brahman only. No more the thought that all of them are superimposed on Brahman, because of which we are not able to see the Brahman. They're all the initial thoughts when we are lost in our identity, attachment, slavery to the world and worldliness. If we ensure ourselves that we are no more slaves to the world through our upadhis to indulge, and we are sure that we are thoroughly studying Shastra and kept Paramatma alone as a goal, therefore, as a sadhana, what we have to see is everything as world. That which becomes exclusive in the earlier days of sadhana, later on becomes inclusive. That is the beauty of these teachings, that everything is Brahman. Sarvamiti Akash. The same Upanishad is telling earlier that on Parabrahma, they're all superimposed because of the ignorance and all. Getting lost in them, we are away from the Brahman and we are into samsara and suffering. वो दिनों में क्लासेस में होता हो. But now as we have grown in our understandings and changed all our goals and means, for us now, whatever, wherever we open the eyes, everything is nothing but one Brahman only. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Atmaivedamidam Sarvam, Brahmaivedamidam Sarvam, Brahmanonyana Kinchana. That is the meaning of Sarvamitya Akashe. Okay, these are the beautiful set of consciously the upasanas have to be done. So the four things we have to do are: one, the Guru Upasana, Daiva Upasana; second, regularly listening to our Shastras and understanding; third, contemplating, meditating on the absolute truth; fourth, to facilitate all these three happen, these Upasanas of the Brahma, the Daivi and Manushi Samagnyas. ये चारों चीजों में हमको पूरा दिन बिताना है. हो गया दिन, अगले दिन फिर से जिंदा है तो डू द सेम थिंग. till either we die or we realize the self. Asuptera amrite kalam nayet vedanta chintaya charchaya. Is it not? Another day given, again same thing. Early morning, did worship our Guru and Daivam. Then we came to the class at 7:30 and listened to Vedanta. Then little meditation we do after this. And the whole day we are engaged in a Kshemaiti Vachi or Rupturiti Vrishtav or all these upasanas. Excellent. Life is only engrossed in that. And the things and beings and situations around, they come and go as they have to come and go. Pandemic, how threatening it was. अब उसका जिक्र भी नहीं है. The fear of third world war, when Russia attacked Ukraine, कहाँ है उसका टॉपिक ही नहीं है अभी डिस्कस करने को. Is it not? How many things they keep on at the individual and total level in the world. वो दुख जो रुकता नहीं, उसका अपना सिलसिला है. Let it go on. Wherever we need to perform or contribute, we do it. But that's not our main goal. For those who have evolved to the level of studying Upanishads, other than entertaining and trying to reach out the Brahman, everything else should be secondary. पहले truth को पता करो. If somebody is still after studying Upanishads, worried, concerned about the world and all that is, उनका भी परिपक्वता नहीं आया about what is Satya, what is Asatya, what is Moksha, what is Bandhana, what is to be pursued, what is not so important to be given in this way. Then came now the other 5 or 6 upasanas. In that we have seen beautifully. First one, Tat Pratishthethyupasita Pratishtavan Bhavati. Exhaustively studied. Second one is Tanmaha Ityupasita Mahan Bhavati. If you do the upasana of Brahman as a Maha, that person becomes that sadhaka Mahan Bhavati. If he does is a substratum, Pratishthavan. Pratishthavan Bhavati means he becomes the sole support substratum for so many developmental evolutionary projects in the world. The one who does the upasana of the Brahman as a Pratishtha. Just like we are going to see in the Yoga Darshanam, maybe after 1 month or 15 days. Once we have gained through the Ashtanga sadhana, the samyama of the mana, that samyamita mana, when focused through every of the things in the world as mentioned there, we get the siddhis there. All the siddhis will be mentioned In that sadhana, vibhuti baad mein wahi hoenge humko. So as the siddhis mentioned in yoga sadhana, in the Vedanta also, these are the siddhis, which are the signposts to say that we are on the right path. What we have to do is Bhagavan is Pratishtha. And what we see the result of it is we ourselves become Pratishthavan. So to what we have to say is he is the Mahan, not Upasana. Then Mahan Bhavati, Tad Mahaityupasita, Mahan Bhavati. Then second, Tan Manaityupasita. तन्मन इत्युपासीत सी दिस वी हैव स्टॉप्ड देयर यस्टरडे. तो इसको भी हमने देखा. तो वहां से हम शुरू करें. तो तन्मन इत्युपासीत मीन्स द होल मन, individual and total, is nothing but the expression of the Parabrahman only. When this upasana is done for few months or years, slowly the manavan bhavati means manana samartho bhavati means what? No more is mind intellect or as the lazy level of non-thinking, or if at all they think about only the worldliness and the upadhis and vishayas. अब का हमारा मन अब ऐसा है ना, वो क्या है ना, जाकर के मनन समर्थो भवति मीन्स it becomes subtle to pierce through the admixed things of the Paramatma and the Maya Krita Upadhis. So that manana chintana vishleshana करने की capacity that person gets, after which he can never be overpowered by any of the misunderstandings or delusions. Imagine the sharpness and subtleness of our quick intellect's alertness all the time. And we'll never allow anything to superimpose the reality. कुछ भी superimpose नहीं होता उनके ऊपर, पक्का at every moment. Here the Manavan Bhavati means Manana Samartho Bhavati is a very high level of the result, outcome of doing the Upasana of the entire Mana to be Parabrahma. Manavan Bhavati. Manana Samartho Bhavati means what? He will go into the truth of everything, even in Vyavahara. His thinkings, his decisions, his implementations never go wrong, even little bit. Any project he takes up, he knows thoroughly the need of the project, the way to achieve success in it. Even if someone comes and asks him for advice, because he's got done the mana idu upasita, because of manana samartha, he will fully able to scan the questioner, intentions and all, and he will give the perfect answer. To say that if that person who is at this level of spiritual sadhana, in his outer profession, if he is a doctor, for example, he will never go wrong in diagnosis as well as prescription. Any number of patients come to him. That's the meaning of Manana Samartho Bhavati. So if he is a lawyer by profession, he may do the thousands cases, argument and all. In every place, he will give justice and the success or victory to the truth only through his justice or the right way of argumentation. That's the meaning of Manana Samartho Bhavati. If he becomes the leader of the state or nation, all his projects are definitely will for the improvement of the state and the nation. That's called as Manana Samartho Bhavati. He never goes wrong in thinking and making correct decisions. Beautiful would be that life. With which our own individually, whatever we do, it only leads to the success. And whoever come to us, they get from us what is the best for them, that only. Manana Samartho Bhavati. Like Bhagavan Krishna. To Sudama, he gave the prema which he wanted, darshanam which he wanted, alinganam which he wanted, recognition and all that. And what his wife wanted, Sudama's wife, she wanted the riches. So Bhagavan is what? Manana Samartho Bhavati. He gave both of them what they wanted. In the next chapter, we'll see again, he will attend to the Brahmana and also the Raja at same time. दोनों को क्या चाहिए भगवान ने दे दिया. Shrutadeva and the Brahmanas name is something. So, तन्मनइत्युपासीत मानवान भवति मनन समर्थो भवते. वही है ना? I hope. Yeah, correct only. So therefore, let us not anymore struggle with the minds. एनी ऑफ दोज गुणास. देखो, प्रारब्ध से आई जाते हैं तमो रजोगुण, कोशिश से सत्व गुण में आने का एक तरफा प्रयत्न करते हुए, अदर साइड all these three gunas belong to Maya. Maya belongs to Paramatma only. Everything is that alone. Don't indulge in them. ऐसा नहीं है ना फिर कि तमो रजोगुणा is expression of divine. I respect divine, therefore I will involve in tamas and rajas. That type of misusing the crooked intellect, let us not do. We always struggle only to maintain the sattva qualities in our efforts level. But it is so terrible, the रजो तमो, पूरा दुनिया ही रजो तमो में है, तो उसका असर होगा ही हमको. At that time, instead of too much struggle and suffering and getting frustrated, all the mana iti upasita, शास्त्र खुद ही कह रहे हैं ना, मन है. That's why for a bhakta and for a brahmagnani, there is nothing other than Bhagwan or the Paramatma as good or bad. हर में हर को देखा साधो. एक साधु के दृष्टि में हर में हर ही रहते हैं. हर और हरि. There is nothing good and bad. Everything is Bhagwan. That's the meaning of that samatva. Sukha dukkhe same, labha alava same, और शत्रौ पुत्रे मित्रे बंधौ, everywhere. Sohra mitra adri udasina madhyastha dvesha bandhushu sadhushu avicha bhabeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. Sixth chapter. Also in the 14th one, mana maneho tulya tulyo mitrari bhakshiyo. So same thing is here said as he the next one, that is manana samartho bhavati. Okay, now the next one is tannamaityupasita. So the fourth one is what? First one is pratishteti upasita, second is mahaiti upasita, third is tanmana ityupasita. So tat pratishteti upasita pratishthan bhavati, mahityupasita mahan bhavati, tanmana ityupasita manana samartho bhavati. Like earlier also, if you do the kshema, kshema comes to you. If you do the yoga kshema, yoga kshema comes to you. If you give the trupti, trupti comes to you. If you give the bala, bala comes to you. In any country which tries to weaken other country, in course of time it becomes weakened. Any country which strengthens other country, that country becomes stronger. With all these Vedantic principles only, our leader present, the Prime Minister of our nation, is working. The rishis, munis are working through them. If you remain as an isolated country and try to dominate the world, for some time you can do like the America and all, but later on you will be suppressed to such a deep level that you will never come out of it. Instead of that, if you empower other nations, you will always remain empowered because they want such nations who empower them. Beauty of this, every country will support India next 1,000 years. Why? Because we are in the interest of every country's improvement. And who is the nation who doesn't want someone who loves their own improvement, theoretically and practically? Okay. In the same way, the fourth one now is Tannama Ityupasita. So Tannama Ityupasita, Namanam Namaha Namana Gunavat Idyupasita. It's a very important thought that is. What is it? That with all these powers, the Brahma Tattva, the Ishvara, with his Maya Shakti, how much ever the wonders of the world he may manifest or project or create, still he remains as the Namanavatu. The word used here, Namana Gunavatu. Namana Gunavala means what? He's always in the humbleness only. Why? Because to show his arrogance or ego, who is there other than him? To whom he will show his ego? With whom he will compete and prove himself that is a little better or higher than the other fellow? Cannot be. So the Narayana Lord, when he creates the whole world, he is not excited to say कि मैंने इतना बड़ा दुनिया बनाया, किसको दिखा रहे हो? कोई है ही नहीं दिखाने को. Therefore, he only is Namaha, Namana Gunavana while doing creation. While maintaining, he is the sole one to do. Therefore, Namana Gunavanu. At the time of Pralaya, such a terrible power in that Pralaya Kala, that whole world, which is developed for such a hundreds, thousands of years, all has to go back into the deluge. तो कितना पावर चाहिए उसके लिए, कितना बड़ा काम चाहिए. And all that the Lord does, call it as Shiva Tattva or Samana Shakti or Pralaya Shakti, whatever. But that also namana. Tat namaha ityupasita. Namanavan bhavate. Please, Bhagavan, remember with all his powers and all, he is humble only. Humbly he creates an earthquake. Humbly only he sends a tsunami or cyclone. Very humble. There is nothing arrogant about it. Then Namaityupasita is one of the very practically required sadhana to be done. Nama, it's a whole ocean. How many whole Jiva Koti it is supporting, but still its own humbleness. Lord Surya, whole Jiva Koti is supporting, but still in his own humbleness. The Vayu, सबके प्राण का कारण है जीवन का, but still it is humble. The Bhumata, she is humble. Only human being without anything, because he thinks ना हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है, कम से कम तो arrogance तो हम अपने पास रखें. The Lord has everything, but only one is missing. That is arrogance. The human being has nothing, but he has only one thing called as arrogance. है कि नहीं मजेदार बात? स्तन्नमैति उपासीत, है ना? Maintain the namanam all the time and do the this nammante upasita is in the Bhakti Shastra is called as Ishwarasya Abhimana Dveshitvat Dainya Priyatvacha. That is how in the Bhakti Sutras it is written. Or Nirmamo Nirahankaraha, as in Gita it is written. Or in the our Mundaka Upanishad, Vidwan Bhavate Nativadi, it is written. So what is said as Nativadi na Bhavate, or what is said as Abhimana Deshitva Dainya Priyatvacha. All of that is same meaning it is saying. Nirmamo Nirahankara. Wherein there is no ego, specialized ego. The Namaityupasit. What a powerful thought it is. Namana Gunavatu. So the universal power itself, when is humble, from him we are getting a speck of power. How can we be arrogant? देखो the Indradi, Brahmadi, all devatas, when you read their stutis to Brahma or Narayana, Rama, how much with humbleness it is there. Have you not seen yesterday in that Adhyatma Ramayanam, the stuti of the Brahma Deva, how with humbleness it was. Like that 20, 30 stutis we have done, seen. So in Bhagavatam, the way the Rajas and Yudhishthira, with so much of humbleness. Remember, there are two things. They were humble because therefore they got Bhagavan's blessings. And they got Bhagavan's blessing, therefore they are humble. We are arrogant, therefore we don't get blessings. We don't get blessing, therefore we are doubly arrogant and we suffer only. Humbleness, so beautiful it is. Wherever sometime they become out of that humbleness, arrogance, Bhagavan humbles them. So he has his own weapons. और फिर he will not spare there. It is ब्रह्मदेव और इंद्र हो, उनको उनके तरीके से वो पाठ पढ़ाएंगे. We have seen it in Bhagavatam. When the Brahmadeva has hidden all the children for 1 year, Bhagavan taught the lesson as fit for the Brahmadeva. Because very highly evolved one, he cannot be punished like the Rakshas are punished. तो भगवान silently अपने आप को हजार वो बच्चों के रूप में बनाया. That was enough for Brahmadeva to realize. It was 1 year on the human life, but for Brahmadeva it was only fraction of second. He immediately realized. So to Indra also, arrogant, he has sent the rains. इंद्र ऑल्सो भगवान के असिस्टेंट सेवक है. एक बार थोड़ा दिमाग फिर गया उनका, तो भगवान ने गोवर्धन उठाकर उनको उस तरह से पाठ सिखाया. But otherwise they all are in the namana gunavat only. Okay. So tannama iti upasita. What is the Falashruti here? Like everywhere the Falashruti is there. Here it is called Tannamiti was Namyante Asmai Kamaha. So what is the Bhashyakara said here? Ki Namyante Prahi Bhavanti Asmai Upasitre Kamaha Kamyante iti Bhogyaha Vishayaha ityartaha. So all the Bhogya Vishaya Vastus with a surrender and salutation to him, they come under his own use or disposition. His own utilization. In his service, they are all available. Sarva kama namyante. All kamanas do namaskar to him, surrender to him, become available to him. With just his sankalpa, everything he gets. For us, we are slaves to the Kamana. The more we desire, the less they get fulfilled, the more we are frustrated. For this Mahatma, it's not like that. He does the Kamana, it has to happen. Kamyaha Vishayaha Asmai Namyante. You have seen the Rishi Bharadwaja. When Bharataji came with such a lakhs of thousands of people to go and bring Rama back, जो संकल्प किया सबके लिए इतने 56 भोग रह मिल गए. Everybody ate it. So too when Vishwamitra came with his thinking to Vashishta ji, he has got his Kamadhenu. जब संकल्प कर दिया सारे कामने आ गए कि नहीं. So too कृष्ण भगवान for the Sudhama, his family, जो संकल्प कर दिया हो गया सब. He just sends that thought, it will happen. Namyante asmai kama. In the modern world, if you say, हाँ इस एरिया में एयरपोर्ट आना है, वो आ जाता है. यहाँ सोलर प्लांट होना चाहिए, हो जाएगा. यहाँ खेती बढ़िया होना चाहिए, हो जाएगा. यहाँ दैट वाटर प्लांटेशन होना चाहिए, हो जाएगा. देखो एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट अमृतसर 500 अमृतसर और इवन मोर देन दैट इन इंडिया आर प्लान्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट. संकल्प करो तो होते रहते सब. नम्यन्ते अस्मै कामाः तन्नमैत्युपासीत. It won't come just like that. When you do upasana Brahman to be the Namana Gunavan, and we also behave in a Namana Gunavan. Remember, the one who is humble, all the riches come to him. And the one who is arrogant, he will be losing all of them slowly. Prahlada humble, he became king of the whole Rakshasas. Arrogant was his father, he was finished only Hiranyakashipu. Vibhishana was humble, he became king of Lanka. Ravana was arrogant, was eliminated. And Sugriva was humble, he got the kingdom Kishkinda. The Valli was arrogant, he was eliminated. Pandavas are humble, they got kingdom. Arrogant was Duryodhana, he was eliminated. How many examples? Simple and humble. Because that is Guna of Brahman. To whom you will show arrogance? Where is anybody other than you? तो wonder ना नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः इति भोग्याः कामाः काम्यन्ते इति काम्याः भोगाः विषयाः इत्यर्थः. हो गया. Now the next one. तद् ब्रह्मेत्युपासीत. Last two are there. तद् ब्रह्म इति उपासीत. So do the Parabrahma to be the Upasana as a Brahma. Brahma here is the not Akshara Parabrahma, because Akshara Parabrahma की बात हो रही ना. तो here Brahma means the Akshara Brahma, Akshara Apara Brahma, not Para Akshara Brahma, but Akshara Apara Brahma. He is called as the Brahma Deva or Hiranyagarbha. Brahma Deva we call in Puranic language. इन द वेदांतिक वेद भाषा में उनको हिरण्यगर्भ या सूत्रात्मा कहते हैं. हिरण्यगर्भ समर्थताग्रे. सो दैट ब्रह्म के रूप में उनका उपासना करो. ब्रह्म विराट पुरुष, नॉट परब्रह्म. परब्रह्म का परब्रह्म उपासना क्या करना, परब्रह्म ही. सो तत् ब्रह्म इति उपासीत. ब्रह्म परिवृढतमम इति उपासीत. Parivrudatama means Parivrat means what? He is who is from all sides, bigger than the biggest, by all means powerful than the powerful most. बड़े से बड़ा, शक्तिशाली से शक्तिशाली, सबसे सबसे ज्यादा ज्ञान जिनका भाषा है, दैट इज कॉल्ड ब्रह्मदेव. इज ए समष्टि, लेट अस से स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीर अभिमानी. कारण शरीर वाले को ईश्वर कहते हैं. वो तो दूर रहते हैं. ईश्वर इज अनमैनिफेस्ट ऑल द टाइम. He only gets manifested through Hiranyagarbha as any of the avatars. So that Brahma, who is the wielder of the totality of pervasiveness, totality of the wisdom, totality of the powers, the Sarvagna, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvavyapaka, oh hai, O Brahma. Okay, that Hiranyagarbha. Not the Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Brahma Deva, that the Hiranyagarbha. From the Hiranyagarbha only the Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara, all the three come. No, Vedantic hierarchy of the Parabrahma, the Ishvara, the Sutratma or Hiranyagarbha and Virat Purusha is different altogether. कभी कभी ये वो मिलते हैं, बट इसका सीक्वेंस हायरार्की को अलग समझो. एंड देन ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वर, दे आर सृष्टि स्थिति लय करता थ्रू द सत्व रजस एंड सत्व तमो गुण, द लॉर्ड ओनली. दोनों एक ही है, बट समझने के टाइम थोड़ा सा जो डिफरेंस होता है, लिटिल बिट, दैट हैज टू बी हेल्ड. सो हियर तद ब्रह्म इति उपासित इज ब्रह्म परिवृढतमः हिरण्यगर्भः सर्वज्ञः सर्वशक्तिमान सर्वव्यापकः. In this way do the upasana. Tad Brahma iti upasita. Brahma means parivrudatamam iti upasita. Okay, when we do the upasana of him, what will the result? Brahmavan tad gunaha bhavati. Tad brahmetyupasita brahmavan bhavati. The upasaka himself becomes as big as the Brahman. This has already come in the first Shiksha Valli, if you remember it. And there no sayashchayam, all that having said कि भूरित्यग्नो प्रतिष्ठति भुवरिति वायौ स्वरित्यादित्ये मह इति ब्रह्मणि. See, and the explanation given about what are the powers or advantages of this Brahma. That the Brahma is not Parabrahma. This Brahma only the Hiranyagarbha. We have studied it. आपनोति स्वराज्यम आपनोति मनसस्पति वाक्पति चक्षुष्पति श्रोत्रपति विज्ञानपति एतत् ततो भवति आकाश शरीरं ब्रह्म सत्यात्म प्राणाराम मन आनंदम शांति समृद्धम अमृतमिति. How many things were told? Having told all that, then to Prajina Yogya, the Mahachamasa Rishi said, hey, therefore Prajina Yogya, do the upasana of the Maha, then you will get the oneness with the Hiranyagarbha. Same thing here, that Brahmetyupasita, the Brahmavan bhavati. One becomes identified with the Hiranyagarbha. This is what is a final stage a sadhaka as a jiva can reach to. Samashti Ishvara, Samashti jiva is Hiranyagarbha. Beyond that, there is nothing. To reach to him in the Saguna Sakara. उसके पार जाओ तो परब्रह्म only, having transcended all the upadhis, we reach to. The Ishvara is one. Ishvara will be remaining as Ishvara with the total Maya Shakti. Nobody else can become Ishvara. Everybody cannot become Ishvara as that complete Ishvara. In one of the two or three or four faculties, one may become Ishvara. Therefore, Brahma alone is, the Hiranyagarbha is the final point of reaching through Upasana. Through Dhyanam, we reach to Aham Brahmasmi Anubhuti, which is beyond. So that Brahmeti Upasita Brahmavan Bhavati. Brahma Parivrudatamam iti Upasita Brahmavan Tat Guna Bhavati. Okay, the last one is important. This we can do actually tomorrow. कल ही देखेंगे, इसको लंबा चौड़ा है. It will take 10 to 15 minutes. Let us see tomorrow. So today's introduction of 15-20 minutes. Before the starting 10 minutes. Then after the chanting is over, before the class, what we have spoken in detail about all these upasanas is worthy of listening at least once more. I just recommend to you, so that we become very pakka in our all understandings while studying this Upanishad. And possible थोड़ा तो कम से कम साधना कर भी सकते हैं. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो परमर्षिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you. Come in 2 minutes to join for yoga darshanam.